My ex, 23 years old female, and I, 24 years old male, share split custody of our daughter, 2 years old. Our co-parenting relationship is very healthy, as our breakup ended on good terms, and occasionally we'll have friendly conversations such as asking how one's day been, checking up on each other every once in a while, etc. We were originally friends before babies and relationships, so that plays a factor in this. We were talking one day and I found out that she just met a guy 3 weeks ago and since has been in a relationship with him and wants to introduce him to our daughter. I told her that I didn't think it was the best idea because of how our daughter acts around unfamiliar people. She's going through the clingy phase and would only want me or her mom, and it would take some time for her to get used to unfamiliar faces. She told me that she was not going to introduce him too early to her but just wants her to see his face and get used to him in the future. This time she asked me to keep her for another week because she's dealing with a lot of work and stress. I said no problem and kept our daughter for 2 weeks. Afterward, I dropped her off and all was well. 2 days later I was cleaning out my car and found that my daughter left her bunny toy. She's had this toy since birth and loves it, so she can't sleep without it. I went to call her and see if our daughter is sleeping okay without it and asked if she wanted me to drop it off. She told me no need to drop it off because she's gone with her boyfriend. I was confused by this and asked what did she mean and where were they going. She told me that he was going to take her somewhere, but he wouldn't tell her where. Also, it was 8 o'clock at night. At that point, I started to get panicky and asked how could she let her go without knowing. She told me that she thinks of it as a bonding experience and that maybe she could get used to seeing different faces. I started to tell her that she just let our daughter go out with a stranger. Mind you, my ex barely knows anything about this guy, doesn't know where he lives, where he's from, his hobbies, etc., all of which she's told me. She told me that it's not that big of a deal and to not call him a stranger. I yelled that he is a stranger and threatened to go to the police if she doesn't call him to bring her back right now. She told me that I was being overdramatic, but I stood firm and she finally called him and told him to bring her back. Mind you, she still didn't know where they were. I was about ready to go to the police. But then he brought her back and my ex dropped her off because our daughter wanted me, and as expected our daughter was crying her eyes out because she was with a stranger. For God knows how long. My ex texted and accused me of being jealous that she fell in love with another man and that I was horrible for trying to make him out to be a creep by threatening to call the cops. Am I the a-hole? I cannot believe your ex put your baby in potential danger like that. She is out of her mind. I'm so sorry she did this to you and your daughter. Absolutely not the a-hole. Let's see the comments. First, we have Flower Power says, not the a-hole, and please, have a heart-to-heart with your ex. And a lawyer, because this is a glaring red flag. I say this as a kid of a mom who was often single and would bring boyfriends in and out of our lives. There was only one time our mother ever allowed us to go alone with a boyfriend, and it was for Mother's Day to pick out gifts for her. Literally to Kmart and back, and we were 14 and 16, old enough to know what was appropriate and how to communicate to our mom. Your ex is making some scary choices, and this is cause for both of you to go to counseling as parents, mediation, or having the custodial order changed to create a plan for how future boyfriends/girlfriends are allowed in your daughter's life. I agree what happened was way too early. Frankly, and I hate to say this, be sure to do a visual check for any bruises or, I hate to say this, anything that looks unusual in her diaper area. I'm so very, very sorry this happened. Next, we have Message Bottle that says, not the a-hole. 3 weeks is a very small amount of time, and you're right, way too soon to be introduced to a new date. The big problem here is that your ex allowed him to take your daughter somewhere without her, and without knowing where. If cops should be called on anyone, it's her, for child endangerment. There is no way that an upstanding new date would say, I'm not telling you where we're going. Good for you for standing firm. Get his name and get a background check. This is beyond scary. Last, we have Alex that says, not the a-hole, but please go to the court, get a formal custody agreement. God knows what that guy could have done. I am a mother of 2 and no one takes my children if I don't know and trust them and my partner trusts them. I'm sorry you had to deal with this. Comment what you think about this fiasco. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, consider clicking on the like button. It doesn't cost you anything and helps support the channel. Comment whatever is in your mind. I love seeing your points of view. I wish you all the best. Love.